I think for many people, the desire is just, I want to have more money. I want to earn more money. I want to be in a better job. But then that's only one side. So it just means that more money is coming into your pocket. But does it mean that your assets are really growing? Because of the way life is wired, there's always something. So this month is going to be my girlfriend's birthday. The next month is going to be our anniversary. Then the third month, somebody important in church is going to have their birthday. And then like life always happens. But then if you just let life keep happening, and then you keep deferring the things you consider as important down the line, you just realize that time has passed and you never really achieved anything.
Hi guys, my name is Fokbe Adiola and this is As a Guy. I always mix that up. As a Guy. My girlfriend always corrects me. Welcome to As a Guy, and on today's episode, which is the final episode, we'll be talking about money. Money matters. As guys, we know this money matter. Everybody is like, we have to make this money. But what is the right way to actually think about money? And to dive right into that with me is Daniel Prigbaha. I'll allow him to say his full name by himself because I cannot pronounce that. And then he'll tell us what he does and just anything about yourself.
Myself. Hello, hi guys. My name is Daniel Ogagame Prigbaha, and thank you for having me on your podcast. Well, my day job, I'm a corporate finance executive with RSM. Work specifically in due diligence, helping value companies that are looking to buy or sell, basically anything in the mergers and acquisition space. And before that, I'd worked in a bank for quite a while. I just have a general interest.
Which bank?
Well, Polaris Bank or Polaris Bank in Nigeria. So, and just prior to that, I think from a young age, my dad had introduced me to like different money instruments, and I've always just been obsessed about the subject. So yeah, that's me. In my spare time, I'm really into football, watching football. So yeah,
not me.
That's
not
it.
me. I'm not a guy in that sense. My whole football is like movies and music. I'm not into like all the award shows and stuff. Anyway, thank you, Daniel, for being here. So behind the camera, you're asking me why I called you to be here, and so besides the fact that I think you and I have good conversations. I mean, in church, house fellowship, and all that, we get into discussions, and I feel like this is interesting. We should talk more. I also see that you're a very organized person. I mean, you're already married. You're how old now?
27.
27, married. You have your own house, your own car, your wife that loves you and adores you. I mean, she's always talking about you in church and marry a good man, So I'm always proud of you, man to man. So it's part of why not many people our age is married with a house and a car. I mean, that's like basic, for a man to look forward to, like things to have. So yeah, that's basically why you're here.
Okay.
Plus you work in finance, which is gives you more understanding of how money works and all that. So yeah, thank you for agreeing to be here with us. So let's start. My first question to you is, when you hear and this person is not like our role model or anything, but when you hear someone like Davido say, in this life, get money, what comes to your mind? Like, what's your reaction to something like that?
I think, on the one hand, it makes sense because I guess money drives many things, and to a large extent, money solves a lot of problems. So I mean, as a basic inspiration, it makes sense. But then I guess the other angle to that, or the deeper angle to that, is then the money is vanity. But then what some people then say to that is, well, have the money first so you can really
say that
it is vanity. Because but then I mean, in truth, I mean it is. But then it's a worthy place to start from, and then then get your full understanding of it. Then you can then form your perspectives. But I mean, on the basic level, I mean, I agree. Get money.
Yeah. I mean, when the Bible says money answers all things, so yeah, on that level, you do have money. Yeah, makes sense. But let's take it a step further now. Do you think one way the average guy, could take that statement, maybe someone that actually sees David as a role model, for example, can take that statement like, I must make this money, like, I don't care how I'm doing it, whatever I have to do, I have to make the money. And do you think like there's a little bit of what's the word you always use? Context that needs to be put to statements like that, so that somebody doesn't take it out of context and run with it and go and do crazy things.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, it makes sense. Something that really should be contextualized and put it in the right frame. Because I guess maybe one thing that's even more important than that money cannot buy is peace of mind. So I mean, as a guiding rule personally, is once the pursuit of money takes away my peace of mind, then it's no longer worth it. So I mean, at the end of the day, while money is important, again, it's not the most important thing. And like peace is it means different things to different people. And it's just important for everybody to get their priorities right and then put money in the right place. So that for you, at the end of the day, you don't get the money and then you've lost the things that are more important in the large scheme of things. So yeah, I think that's the context and that's different for everybody. So everybody needs to find what it is for them personally. So yeah, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was thinking about it this morning and I was like, if I will get to this later too, but if money is all I had, it's like, then what else? Like, okay, maybe I post on social media, I get a few likes. They like my car, they like my house. Okay, then what next? So we'll talk about that soon. But something else I wanted to bring up was this idea that men must have money. I mean, like, if you don't have money in society, you're not a valuable man, right? I mean, this is a podcast for guys, so and then to add to that is the idea that on the other side, a lady must be sexy, bring her body to the table. And it's kind of like that's the exchange for, for sex now. So a guy that has money can sleep with anybody, as many ladies as he wants. So do you think that's kind of like also a motivating factor for guys, to get the ladies? I mean, obviously it's a wrong perspective in my opinion, but do you think that's part of what motivates some guys?
Yeah, I think to a large extent, those are the perks that come with having money. You sort of, I mean, when you have money, your jokes become funnier. Everything about you just amplifies, and you look, you have a stronger standing in society, which, I mean, is true. But then, I think when you get money through the wrong means or with the wrong motivations, you attract the wrong people. So I mean, when you get money, definitely the girls will come, but then are you attracting somebody who is really only into you because of the money?
Yeah.
Because and the thing with money is such an interesting subject that the fact that you earn a lot of money does not mean you're wealthy. I mean, being rich and wealthy are just two different conversations.
Things, yeah.
So I mean, and the truth about money is no matter how wealthy you are, you go through cycles, ups and downs. And if you only got the girl because of the money you had, once the down cycle comes, which will definitely come. I mean, it's different for different people. Then where does the girl go? And then, so yeah, I mean, the people that you attract because of it, you lose them when you don't have it. So I think, again, it's just getting your priorities right and getting your motivations right. But then again, those things are true. You get a better stand in society, but then what happens once you lose that? And then...
But let's not forget the first part. So how does a guy handle that that idea that I'm not valuable without having that standing in society, like you said?
I think and it was something I was learning recently. Like at the end of the day, what defines you is really what you say to yourself. And no matter what you do, no matter how much money you have, what people will say, they will still say. And at the end of the day, if your peace does not really come from your own self, then you'll never get there. And the truth about money is how much money is really enough money. The thing about money is a never-ending chase. If for you 1 million, and I was talking to a friend yesterday.
Your first $1 million.
I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he asked me, "Oh, Daniel, are you in the job market?" I said, "I'm always in the job market. If I get another job tomorrow, I'll still be in the job market the next day." So it never ends. You always want more. Want more, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, you need to put your value in something that is deeper than money. Because like if it's money that you choose, it will never ever be enough to give you the value for yourself.
Yeah, definitely find something deeper than money, because money is, to me, it's supposed to be a tool, right? Something you use. Yeah. And if that tool breaks, or sometimes it actually breaks, the economy could crash, and money becomes valueless. So you touched on this where you started. You said your dad introduced you to instruments early. So I wanted to talk about that a little, like how has your relationship actually been with money? At what age, did you start having a conscious relationship with money? I saw this ad, I don't know the company, I don't know but I think it's a bank. Okay. It's an ad on TV anyway. They're like, research shows that children start having a relationship with money at the age of 7. But I'm not so sure. And the ad was so weird because they showed children pretending to be adults in like a supermarket or a shop, and there's a boy and a girl pretending to be a couple, and they were buying something, and they got to the cashier, and the boy, being the husband, brought out the wrong card, right? And the wife was correcting him as a woman would, like, "That's the wrong card, baby." And it was just funny. I was like, actually, where does a child actually start to think about money? Like, I need to start earning money, or I need to start saving money.
I think, and it was something I was listening to from another financial guy, and he was talking about how like a lot of a child really takes a lot of their attitude to money from their parents. And if their parents have like a fearful attitude towards money, they sort of inculcate that. So I think maybe earlier when I started thinking about money was when I started to become aware that when visitors come to our house, they give us money. And then I was always like, okay, I want to keep my own money. And then the usual, well, don't worry, I'll keep it for you from my mom.
You never see it again.
But you never see it. And then you ask seriously, and they always all that money, and it's like, I might not pay for the school fees. But well, I think maybe I think the first time I really started to think about money and making money for myself was SS3. And like when coming to uni, and then I think at that point I had this big idea of what it meant to be a big boy. Yeah. And I was like, the money my parents are giving me will not do this for me. I need to make my own money. I think at that time I went to do interesting things. I was selling gala, I was selling Capri-Sun in school, because then the idea I had was because a lot of juniors, their parents never trusted them to hold their own money. So what they would do is they would give the housemaster. So the housemaster would only give them like maybe 100 naira or 15 naira per day. But those children always wanted to eat a lot. And that 15 naira was not cutting it for them. So I would give them the gala on credits. And so I had in my wallet, I had the names of different juniors and how much they were paying me.
Did you collect interest?
No, I never collected interest. Okay. I always collected the fair amount. So I'll wait, and then visiting day when their parents give them bulk money, it's always Daniel they're coming to submit it to. Yeah. And at some point, my housemaster saw the wallet and saw the list. I was in trouble that day, but
you should have encouraged you that like this is an entrepreneur.
But I think otherwise, I think in terms of then intentionally trying to teach us about investments, maybe when I was like 12 or 11, I think my dad had just learned of Warren Buffett at the time, and then he brought one video and showed us how from 11 he was selling newspapers and investing in equities. I think that was like first time I heard. But then I think when he then started introducing me more to instruments, where I think when I was in uni, and then he started to tell me about like money markets, bonds, treasury bills, equities. Even though I mean, I'm more risk. I have a bigger risk capital than him, maybe because of age and experiences.
Yeah.
I think he did equities in Nigeria like around 2004-05 when there was this crisis, and then he lost like a lot of money. So like when you tell him about equities, like run.
Nah.
But I mean, there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think having those conversations in bits and bobs, really okay. There's something here.
Interesting. I mean, I wish I had somebody like that. You know. I love a professor as well. I don't know if you saw the video as well. He said when he was 10, he also started selling newspapers as well to make money. And he earned enough money to like pay school fees, buy new shoes, you know. And for a 10-year-old to actually make that type of decision, and he didn't have like a father or a role model to bring him on that journey. But yeah, it just shows that with should I say the Holy Spirit? You know, sometimes you just know what to do. Yeah. But yeah, definitely an interesting story. I want you to talk more about that actually. 'Cause I think you told me about how you also wanted to buy, I don't know if it was an iPad or a new T-shirt, or if your dad bought you a new T-shirt that you wanted to show off to everybody.
I think at the time it was I had this long list of what I needed to become a big boy by the time I went to uni. So it was very clear. I had SpongeBob T-shirts,
SpongeBob T-shirt.
Yeah, and then it was raining, and then like there was like the cap that says YMCMB.
Oh
I had everything written down. It was such a silly motivation, and I think at the time that summer was the first time we're going to travel as a family to the US. So I had like an idea of this how much dollars I want to hold when I go on this trip. So I like everything was, and I think I had then the amount was big for me, like 30K. I want to make 30K. And my parents used to give me 1K to go to school. So anyway, I had this friend who, so the trade-off my parents had was they give me 1K, but then they just give me a lot of provisions. I had this other friend, his parents didn't give me provisions, but they give me 5K.
Yeah.
So two of us came together. But he didn't have my own type of motivation. I guess for him, even when he got back home, he used to get money from his parents. So he did the thing with me for a while, because then in my school, I was a relative big boy.
Yeah.
So for me to be carrying gala, then in my bag, it was gala. No books to class, just
To be
gala.
fair, gala was good that time. Gala now is something else, man.
I was gala and Capri. So I was ready. I was selling, doing silly things just to raise money. So anyway, I raised all the money. Maybe I bought, then Shambalas used to rain. I bought some Shambalas, bought some, I don't know, all the money disappeared. I don't really know at the end of the day whether I really became a big boy in school, but then I guess that's the endurance between like being rich and being wealthy, because like all the money just came and then went.
Yeah. My own secondary school was definitely, I mean, I never sold anything. I think I mostly gave it all away. Like, so I became a day student at SS3, right? And we live very close to school, so I just became like a charity to me. Like, I'll bring Indomie from home, like bread for people when they're eating beans, and like I'll just give it away. But when I was in the hostel too, I used to do these deals with like some people didn't like some food.
Yeah.
So if you don't like rice and beans, you give me the rice and beans. Maybe I'll give you I don't know, semo and egusi the next day or something like that. And some other times I had money, so I would pay, maybe give us 15 naira, and they would go and buy something they want to buy, and then I would get their own food. But that was my own secondary school. I don't think I ever made money off of anybody. But yeah, that's interesting. So let's talk about why you think the average guy doesn't have enough money. So we've joked about it, and obviously we're teenagers, so we're really serious. But you know, when you start to enter your 20s, 30s, you start to actually think about it and take it more seriously. But what are the things that you say suck eat out of your wallet?
I think first of all, life is designed to suck money out of your wallet. Just been alive is designed that way.
Yeah.
But then I think what differentiates people or what helps you keep money is like being intentional about it. I think for many people, the desire is just, I want to have more money. I want to earn more money. I want to be in a better job. But then that's only one side. So it just means that more money is coming into your pocket, but doesn't mean that your assets are really growing. In theory, no. So, I mean, and I guess like you say as well, okay, people think, okay, once I have my house, I have a car, like that's
Basic,
wealth.
yeah.
But that's also not it. But then I think to the thing about like what sucks life in general, and the way you think about money. So, for example, I tend to think about money in years and not in months. So I think, so at the beginning of the year, I try to draw up my budget for the year and say, okay, this year, how much do I want to save? So it means that in theory, if this month I don't save anything, I know I'm going to double it. I'm going to cover it next month or 2 months down the line, such that if a significant maybe life event comes up this month that I was not aware of, takes away money, I'm aware and I'm able to. But then I think the thing is, because of the way life is wired, there's always something. So this month is probably it's going to be my girlfriend's birthday. The next month is going to be our anniversary. Then the third month, somebody important in church is going to have their birthday. And then the next, like life always happens. But then if you just let life keep happening and then you keep deferring the things you consider as important down the line, you just realize that time has passed and you never really achieved anything. So I think first of all is that having, and like somebody said that a lot of people, like if you ask them like what their money plan is, they'll say, I just want to be rich. I just want to be wealthy. But what is rich? Like how much is rich and wealthy to you? A lot of people have not sat down to define it but then the thing is, everybody needs to define what that is to them. So if it is 1 million naira or 1 million pounds to you, and then the thought then becomes, okay, what do I need to do to give up to make 1 million pounds? What lifestyle desire or what lifestyle choice am I making now that I need to surrender to make 1 million pounds? So then you are able to then know why you're giving up, because everything looks like it makes sense. Like it's always a good idea to take care of yourself. It's always a good idea to take care of your girlfriend. It's always a good idea to go on a holiday. It's always a good idea. But at the end of the day, you need to know, and that's why I say you need to know what you are sacrificing. It's noble as well to say, I don't want to have a million pounds. But then just know that it's your own choice. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen for you, you don't feel bad. Because why people feel bad is because their expectations, their realities don't match their expectations. So it's better to say, you know what, I don't want to have any form of assets by the time I'm done, and okay, this is why I live my life this way. But then it's sad when you live your life this way, but then this is what you want. But at the end of the day, it just never. So it's good for everybody to know this is what I want, and then they can pattern their choices around that.
Yeah. So more on that, right? Like, how should a man think about money? I mean, there's probably not like one way to think about it, right? But in your own opinion or experience, what's the right way to think about money?
I think even for me, I'm going through a journey like with money, and I think growing up or maybe when I first started out, like knowing about like money market instruments or equities, I've always been a very mathy person, and I've always sort of thought about it as like always in my head, there's always calculations running. Like, okay, if I put 1 million naira now in a 10% investment, in the next 7 years to become 2 million. By the time I'm 60, it will be 10 million. For example, that's how I've always thought about money. So every time that's how I'm thinking. But then I think these days I then started to, like after I got married, interacted with like different people, and then started to see the emotional side of money, and then saw that money is not exactly it's not exactly the most mathsy concept. So I think first of all, I think how people should think about money is first be intentional about it as a subject, like, and be intentional about like studying what your money habits are. Are you a risk-averse person? Are you somebody that loves risk, for instance, in terms of making investments? Then two, what kind of things give you joy? Does it give you joy to have like this big assets base? So okay, this is why I'm sacrificing my lifestyle choices now. Or does it just give you more joy to say travel around the world? Then okay, this is how I need to structure my life, so that at the end of the day, I've done all the things that really matter to me, and maybe at the end of the day, I only have say 200,000 pounds something in my account by the time I'm 60. So I think everybody needs to know the kind of money type they are. Everybody needs to know the things that take away their money on a monthly or quarterly basis. And then everybody needs to know, needs to try to think long or think ahead and know, okay, what is the amounts that I think I need to fund my lifestyle choices in the future? And I think maybe most importantly is really that thinking of money in the future tense rather than in the now. Because if you only think about money in the now, that's what happens, that then leads you to then have to live from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. So I think that's the most important thing. Take money seriously as a subject, be intentional about it, and then from there you can then start to then make your own personal choices. Because at the end of the day, there's no one route. One way around.
What does the Yoruba say? So we're almost out of time, but okay. I wanted to touch on this because we're supposed to be talking about what the ideal man is. I mean, this season is about defining manliness, but that's also from like a Christian perspective and what God's view of manliness actually is. So there's this idea that, well, I believe it exists in Christianity, that the man should provide, or is the provider, or is the giver in relationships. In society as well, like men are called to lay down their lives. Obviously, there's a lot of argument and discourse around that now these days with the feminist movement and all of that. But what would you say is the right way to think about this? I think Miles Monroe was like, well, women are working now, so actually you don't just have to provide financially. Think of other ways to provide, right? Emotional support, support their dreams, blah, 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 blah. Provide in other ways. But what do you think is the right way to think about this now in relationships?
Yeah, I think that's the challenge for men in our own generation, because it's like the change is happening in our own time. I think, I mean, to your point, I think now it's probably not uncommon for the woman to be earning more than you as a guy. So, but then the thing is, like, the way the man is wired is like your intrinsic nature is sort of built to take pride in being the giver. It's still your responsibility to make sure that, okay, that money that your wife earns is still being spent in a way that is beneficial to the progression of the home. And then I think in that regard, for the man, for the man in our generation, we need to unlearn a lot of things and need to try to find strength in supporting in other ways. Because but then I think that's why it's hard, and that's why it's a challenge. Because our nature, our our nature, our ego,
Our whole design,
our whole design was meant for something. So it's not like and I'm trying to pick my words carefully. It's like we are now having to leave the things that are ordinarily our strengths and then learn and embrace other type of strengths. And then we need to be a lot more flexible now. And then to the initial thing we're talking about, that like as a man, placing your worth in how much money you have. I think in this day and age, if you like, you are almost constrained to learn not to.
Yeah.
But then I think the thing that doesn't change all of that is like your responsibility as the man doesn't change. But then the challenge for us is not to put our sense of worth in that anymore, and then just be in this space where we get more in touch with our emotional side, get more in touch with, I mean, while as well, always trying to be the best version of ourselves when it comes to money, learning, trying to earn as much as we can, and then having that responsibility mindset to knowing, okay, you know what, and like we say, being rich and wealthy are different conversations. My family has this amount of money now. As the man, you are still responsible for thinking, okay, in the next 10 years when nobody's working, what does providing for the family still look like? What kind of assets can I put? So I mean, there are always different ways to look at it, and then once we have an open mindset and our mind is no longer based, and our self is no longer determined based on how much we earn, then we're able to think of other things. But is it easy? No. It's not the easiest thing for us as men.
Yeah. I think, like you said, it's having that bigger picture mindset rather than me and now. That helps. We are definitely out of time now, but I feel like we should still keep going. If we feel like continuing, we'll cut it off. So let's talk about just the last thing now. So obviously, as Christians, there's always this struggle between purpose and money, right? Like, which one is more important? So let me put it this way, right? I think we also talked about it in church recently, that should I, as a guy, be more concerned about the work I'm doing, so in terms of like fulfilling God's purpose, or should I be more concerned about providing for my family if I was married, or sending money back home to my parents? Should that be my priority? Because even the Bible says, a man that cannot provide for his home is worse than an infidel or something like that. So there's always that struggle, especially for Christian men, that actually, okay, I want to do God's will. Maybe I'm called to a particular ministry. I need to be doing this. But bills need to be paid. Girlfriend needs money, blah, 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 right? So how do I find that balance, strike that balance?
I think first, the money journey, ideally, we should not think about it as now. It's a long-term, the 20, 30, 40-year game. But then a lot of us just sort of think about it as, okay, how much am I earning now? What does provision look like now? And but I think that even as you think about your purpose, the truth is that you can't do without money. So at the end of the day, you need to sort of balance what both look like. And I think that this just came to me as you were sort of talking, and then it's like, your picture or the bar you set for yourself as what provision is really determined based on what you need or what you see other people who are similarly at your level doing. So say in theory you earn, say in the UK you earn £30,000, and that £30,000 is really enough to fulfill like a basic lifestyle or the lifestyle as defined by you that you need. But then because somebody else in your circle travels every day,
Drives a Tesla.
drives a Tesla, without knowing the background of the story, you then benchmark, okay, this is what provision should look like, and then start to chase that. I think when that's the motivation for provision or the benchmark you put, it's going to be very difficult for you to attain what's it called?
Balance.
Any balance between purpose and money. But then I think at the end of the day, if really if that definition for provision is sort of really truly self-generated, in theory, even if it's not now, I think there'll always be a way to maybe help you find and find that balance. And I struggle to give examples based off of, but say for instance, for me, for example, as an accountant, is sort of I have sort of an idea for where my career is going to be in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and I can benchmark. Okay, ideally, if I have this experience, but in the next 2 years, I should be able to end this. In the next 3 years, in the next 4 years, I should be able to end this. In theory, at the stage of my life I'm in now, I might not be so eager to want to get an investment banking job, even though I know it pays a lot more money. But the time requirement of me, I know, okay, if I have to give more time to work at this stage of my life, I may not have as much time for family, which I don't think is the best for me now. I might not have time for my other commitments in church. But then I know, okay, if say this is the lifestyle I want to live, can I delay it for 1 to 3 years for when, okay, I still have time to do other things, and then I can live that lifestyle. But at the end of the day, if you don't think in long terms, many times you just because life everything cannot happen now. You know, if you think about and pace things, and because the interesting about life is like it never ends. Once you do that, say your dream was to travel to let me give a hand over there, Dominican Republic for instance, and it's costing 2K. Once you go there, your mind then goes, what the next place? And then, okay, the next holiday is going to cost me 10K. That's where your mind now goes. It never really ends. So until you learn that art of contentment with where you are and thinking long term, to be tough to really balance that definition of purpose and money that works for you. And it's really important to define it for you, because everybody is on different journeys. Everybody's life is funded by and really I think once you leave uni, don't know who's your mate or who's not your mate. The best you can see is outside and outside if you don't know jack.
School, to be fair.
You don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. So
to add to that, I mean, I think I was listening to somebody and they were saying that sometimes because we have like a clear picture of this is my dream, this is my goal, this is where I'm going, we kind of neglect the now. So we don't. So for example, now a guy thinks, okay, I'm called to be, say, a pastor of the richest church in Nigeria, for example. But right now you live in a 1-bedroom face-to-face and you're like, I'm not going to do any other job. I have to start my ministry right now. And the person was like, face reality, right? And get the job you can get right now and start saving for that ministry that you're talking about, right? So that God sees that, okay, you are disciplined enough to, work on something, nurture something, grow something out of the little you have. And then he will make that big dream happen, because even that big dream is not you that will make it happen, right? Yeah. But to now say, oh, well, because of my purpose, I'm going to neglect my current situation, it doesn't work. So, give yourself to the work that you can do where you are, where you can see, help people that you can help. I mean, your purpose, sometimes I feel like it's because we have like a big scale of that purpose, right?
True.
Instead of thinking of it like, actually, my purpose is in this small space right now, and I can still fulfill that purpose in that small space. Yeah. So, do what you need to do to get where you need to get. I think that's the right way to think about it. So that brings us to the end of this episode and the end of this season too. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Daniel, for being with us today. I hope that you guys have really enjoyed this season. And if you do, leave a like, leave a comment, share, subscribe. And if you do that well, maybe we'll do season 2 with more guests. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for